Growing up in Houston, Texas, did I ever think I'd be here on this big lot, a producer, a director, a star, a choreographer, a mother? Absolutely.
If talent was a person, her name would be Debbie Allen. The daughter of a dentist, a Pulitzer Prize winning poet, the sister of one of the most accomplished actresses of all time, and yet still, Debbie is probably the most talented person in the family, the industry, the world, maybe even the universe.
My mother gave me a great deal of strength and belief in myself and a sense of myself in the universe. It was never a sense of myself in the community, Third Ward where we lived, in Houston, or in Texas, or the United States, or on this side of the hemisphere. It was the universe. So I'm from a world of women who do a lot of things, like the Renaissance man. There's some Renaissance women can do so many different things, and it's not, it's just who I am. I don't know, my mother developed me that way. She's an incredible writer. She was nominated for a Pulitzer Prize for her first book of poetry. She had 3 children at that time, and she was a home economics major. She made the best apple pie you ever tasted.
My mother, in preparing us for our careers, taught us to view ourselves as individuals and always to work for full development of inherent potential. This is the meaning of life. This is the purpose of life. My mother also took great pains to make sure that artistic expression was a part of our everyday life.
My ambition was to become successful as an actress, as a dancer, on Broadway and in films, on television. I never did have any limits about what I wanted to do and where. I just wanted to do it good.
And she did do good. In fact, she did great. Debbie was passionate about dancing at a young age. It was because of this, her mother would sign her up for dance classes at the age of 5. But unfortunately, Debbie would constantly find herself being rejected from joining dance schools, not because of her talent, but because of her race.
The challenges were the racial divide. And because of that, I couldn't go to the dance school that I really wanted to go to. It made me strong to grow up in that environment. And finally, when I got into the Houston Ballet Foundation, after having tried for 6 years, I got in when I was 13, I think. And I studied there for 4 years with the most intense ballet program known to man and God, and it really pushed me and made it possible for me to become the Debbie Allen that everybody loves singing and dancing all over the world.
The only reason Debbie was ultimately accepted into the Houston Ballet Foundation was because a Russian instructor who was in awe of her talent secretly admitted her. She was the only black student at the school. Debbie would also experience racism at the high school when she auditioned for the North Carolina School of Arts. She did so well at the audition that they actually used her to demonstrate the moves to her audition group. To Debbie, this was a sure sign that she would be admitted, but she was then told that she would not be because her body type didn't fit. In other words, her skin didn't fit. This, of course, was devastating to Debbie, and after all her years of hard work, dedication while fighting to get an opportunity, she decided to go in a different direction. The same way her mom once did when her parents got a divorce. Her father, Dr. Andrew Arthur Allen, who was a thriving dentist, was a great man in his own right, but his conservative views often clashed with Vivian's free-thinking personality. And Vivian, who was fed up with racism in America altogether, moved to Mexico, bringing her children with her. Not without letting off a couple of warning shots though. Now faced with her first crossroads, Debbie enrolled into HBCU Howard University to pursue acting. But while at Howard, legendary DC choreographer Mike Malone would see Debbie doing a triple turn at a party and would offer her a position with his dance company, thus returning Debbie back to her first love, dance.
I got from Houston, Texas to New York City by way of Howard University, where I studied speech and drama and classics. And after I graduated cum laude, my father always said it was thank you laude, I found my way to New York City and started working immediately. I went on to do a big musical called Raisin in the Sun, and then I got an agent and started doing commercials, selling everything on television. My first commercial, I was a meter maid for the Goodyear, I think it was Goodyear rubber for tires or something. And then I worked constantly in New York, either on stage, on Broadway or off Broadway, places like the New York Shakespeare Festival with Joseph Papp or the New Federal Theater with Woody King. Three Girls 3 solidified the fact that I could be on network television holding my own number for 4 or 5 minutes all by myself. After that experience, I kept getting other jobs. All of these experiences together made me an artist that certainly could do so many different things. And because of my versatility, I was able to go back and forth between the musical theater world, to the musical television world, to the dramatic television world.
I'm gonna live forever, baby, remember my
2, 3, 4. Again, run, plie. 7, you'll thank me for this later. Put it over. 2. I'm acting in the show as Lydia Grant, the dance teacher, but I'm also the show's choreographer. When I started out, I accepted the job, and I told them I'd be more interested if I was responsible for the choreography or some of it. And I had no idea that I was going to end up being responsible for all of it.
By then I had done West Side Story. I think I had already done the movie Ragtime. I think I had done Ragtime. And they were deciding to make Fame into a television series. And they said, you know, would you come and play the dance teacher? We want to go younger with the dance teacher. You know, they were clear to say the show is not going to be about you and your character. It's really going to be about the kids. And I said to them, you know what? I would love to do it if you let me do the choreography. They said, oh, please, you can have the choreography. They were like,
Really? It was that?
yeah. They paid me $2 to do the choreography. Seriously, it was like no money. My agent kept saying, why do you want to do that? I'm like, because that's what I really love. And if I can do that, I'll do the show. It was blatant and blunt. I mean, I remember the day when, I won't say his name, grabbed my butt. And I was choreographing. He was a director. Mm-hmm. And he grabbed my butt, and I was trying to explain to him how I designed it for the camera. And he grabbed me on the ass. He says, you know, don't you worry your little self about the camera. I collared him. I collared his son of a bitch. And I said, you know what? You, first of all, take your hand off of my, don't ever touch me like that again. If you don't get the shots out of my head, you're going to be standing here all day trying to figure it out, and you will never direct again. Now what? Well, honey, next thing you know, I was calling, he said, Debbie, call act. I was calling action, cut. Oh, he learned his lesson. I did not wait for anybody's trial or go to court. I straightened his ass out right then. But you know, that comes to haunt you. Then they may say, oh, she's tough. And I never did go and cry to the executive. I didn't cry to anyone. I took care of it. Gangsta.
4 years after a breakthrough success in Fame, Debbie would meet her true love after a failed 8-year marriage to a man named Win Wilford. She would marry Clippers player Norm Nixon, whom she would raise 3 beautiful children with.
Yeah, today I'll get out of here around 4:30. I'm going to get out early today. And I'll be at home cooking for him for tonight. You know, I cooked last night till around 12 after the game and had to get up early and come here this morning. But that's part of who I am. Honey, what else could my heart desire? I got the man of my dreams, honey. Come on, baby. I got the babe. I got his child. I got a view of Hollywood. I can see the sign on a clear day.
Hey, do y'all think Debbie is subbing somebody in this clip? Watch it again. I think she talking to somebody.
honey, what else could my heart desire? I got the man of my dreams, honey. Come on, baby. I got the babe. I got his child. I got his child. I got a view of Hollywood. I can see the sign on a clear day. And on a clear day. I got a house and a pool. I'm on a hit television show.
After Fame, which was a worldwide success, Debbie would enjoy an abundance of opportunities which range from singing, acting, choreography, producing, and so much more. But on the horizon would be an opportunity for Debbie to make an astounding impact on the black community when she was handed the production keys to A Different World, a show about an HBCU college that didn't feel very black, which often happens when black shows have white producers. A show that had also just lost its main character in Lisa Bonet. So now Debbie will be tasked with turning two of the most unlikable characters on the show into the main attraction, which at the time seemed like the most ridiculous idea you ever heard of. You mean the nerd and the snobby girl?
I said, wait a minute. Whitley doesn't even like Dwayne. She thinks he's an idiot. How is that gonna work?
I was a graduate of Howard University. I had lived the life that Hillman was trying to recreate. First thing that I noticed when I took over the show was I said, where is the chocolate sister? Where is that pretty black girl who is dark-skinned? There was no fraternity, sorority life. I mean, give me a break. Black college campuses are vibrant with fraternity and sorority life. The hangout where they were, there was no hot sauce on the table. How are you gonna do a school like Hillman in the South and there's no hot sauce? Come on.
After Debbie's transformations, the show would become a hit while constantly holding its own with top shows and ratings, which would only elevate Debbie Allen's status. Debbie would go on to star in many productions on television as well as Broadway while winning many awards. And when her daughter went into the same world and experienced the same racism, Debbie decided enough was enough. Thus, Dada was born, the Debbie Allen Dance Academy, a place where young black children can dance and be judged off of one thing, their talent. This is Care from Life is Lyrical, man. Thank you guys so much. I really hope you enjoy. Please make sure you show me some love. Please make sure y'all liking and subscribing. Let me know how y'all feel in the comments. And also feel free to share, man. Alright? This is Care from Life is Lyrical. Always wishing y'all peace, love, lyrics.